Yo, what's up, y'all? So, this is just a quick reaction to Academic's phone call with Wack 100 regarding PoohShiesty's paperwork, and a couple of other folks like Max B, Fetty Wap, and others. So, I highly recommend you check out the video if you into that kind of content. So I'll leave the link in the description for you. I won't do a spoiler alert, but I will go over just a couple of brief points because I just want to make this quick point. Um, One of the things. So my thing is, I'm not gonna sit here and say academic is a whack uh, person. All right. So I don't know it, but I'm not talking about his character or anything like that. But I will say that about his questions, the questions he was asking, the way he approached it was whack. Okay, because he's asking Whack 100 about street code and street code enforcement, right? And to me, it's obvious he didn't grow up. He didn't grow up in the streets, because of that, he doesn't really seem to understand like how the streets actually work in terms of the logic, the hypocrisy, the power dynamics. None of it. He doesn't really seem to get that. Um, and this is based off of the questions he asked Whack 100. Okay, um, and that's why I feel like he wasn't asking Whack 100 the right questions. All right, so now look, some of these dudes out here might really be stand up guys. I'm not arguing that. I don't know them personally. I don't know Whack. You know what I'm saying? I don't know these other street guys. That's been in the streets that who name ring bells across hoods across this nation. So I'm not gonna speak on their character like that. I'm not authorized to do that. But what I will say is this: if someone lives by the rule, don't snitch, but then the moment something happens in the civilian world, like their house get robbed, for example, their business gets hit, somebody breaks in their spot, and then they call the police. To me, that's the same thing. They no different than the whole Jim Jones situation at the airport. Okay, because they touched on that in here as well. It's still law enforcement. It's still telling, and it's still bringing the system into it. You can't like dance around that whole what I'm saying issue right there. And that's exactly why I never rocked with gang culture like that. I never joined the gangs. I understand, and I let me be clear. I never joined gangs because those rules always felt like a trap to me. And let me explain before y'all go crazy in the comment section. Here it is, cause it's gonna be quick, fast, and straight to the point. All right, cause I don't mess around. Here's how I see it. And this is why I think that what academics, he doesn't really understand. So he didn't phrase these questions. He didn't ask the proper questions. But let's think about it in terms of rules of power. All right, the power. And for those of you who haven't looked up the definition in a while, man, go look up the definition because it simply says the ability to do, right? One's ability to do. Okay, so if you're trying to impose rules on me, rules that limit what I can do, that means you're trying to take away my power so you can strengthen yours. That's the way I see it. Okay, and so the way my mind works is simple. Is this rule enforceable? Is everybody really following it? Or is it only enforced on the people at the bottom? Because if it's not enforceable and everybody isn't adhering to it, then don't throw rules at me like they're sacred, okay? Because when they're really just weapons being formed against me. Now, I'll say this too. For the people who actually live by that code, never snitch, took those losses, took the L's on the chin, stay solid no matter what, I respect that. That's admirable. All right? Because it's the same concept as core values in any organization. The military has it. I was in the military. It has a mission, vision, core values. Companies have it. I've worked for several companies. mission statements, code of conduct, and so forth. That's how groups organize people. It's how society functions. All right, it's a given. But I'm 46 now. I'm 46 large now. All right, and what I've learned is this. So you youngins out there, man, pay attention. All right, the people at the top don't seem to follow these rules the same way. They create the rules, they enforce them on everyone below them, but they reserve the right to bend, break, and rewrite them when it benefits them. All right? And the reason is simple. And powerful people don't like limits. And growing up, that was always my issue because I'm the type that wanted to strictly follow a code until I started noticing that people weren't gaining advantages. Think about that, gaining advantages specifically because they weren't following it. So then you start realizing something deeper. One of the things that was my thing was chess. I was taught how to play chess at a young age, all right? So think about chess for a second. I'm wrapping this up. That's what I said. It's going to be quick. Why? Here's the question. Why are there pieces that are expected to get sacrificed so other pieces can win? That's not just chess, man. That's humanity. That's power. Some people are meant to be sacrificed. Some people are meant to benefit. And the rules usually exist to keep those roles in place. All right. And so at the end of the day, the real question isn't who snitched. The real question is who has the power and who doesn't. And in that kind of world, which is the world that we live in, is the person who follows the rule in control? Or is the person who made the rule and can break it whenever they want the one who actually holds the power? That's the conversation I felt like academics should have been having. Not just the surface level street questions, but the questions about power, enforcement, hypocrisy, and who the rules are really designed to benefit. That's really my take on it. So I'm done with it. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Yeah, till then, like I said, check out the description because the link for that Axe video with a phone call with Wack100 will be in the description. All right, y'all. Till next video, it's your man. I'm out.